Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be covering the top 5 beginner mistakes made within Elden Ring. I am speaking personally from experience as I've committed all of these sins, from massacring NPCs to selling my beloved items. This will be the top 5 don'ts. If you've never played Elden Ring before, then finish watching this video, leave a like, then go off and buy it. Implement what we have discussed to give yourself an advantage. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to drop a sub and a like. It's free and it helps me out tremendously. Watch it right to the end to see what mistake number 5 is and the biggest mistake all players make within Elden Ring for the first time. Without further ado, let's crack on. Killing NPCs. This is just a don't. They look very tempting to poke and prod. Some do drop a little bit of loot on death, but trust me, you'll screw yourself out of the quests that they provide. Most importantly, you will lose any early-ish room farming locations and good items, which we do get out at the end of this quest line. If the NPC is non-aggressive and you can speak to them, assume that it is a quest. I'll drop a link below in the description just to list all of the NPC's quests. If you do happen to hit an NPC by mistake, which I did a hell of a lot of times here, and you do make them aggressive, then you can visit the Church of the Vows and offer a Celestial Dew. The Celestial Dew and the offering will make them de-aggro from you, so you can go ahead and collect that quest afterwards. If you do kill them like I did in the clip above, then you will have to wait to your next playthrough. The White Mask is the first NPC you will find. Speak to him, don't slap him like I do. He does hold a grudge and he does have a good quest line. Don't remove yourself from the immersive experience of these quests. You'll see how disappointing his loot actually is when you kill him. Please, 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 if this is your first playthrough and you want to experience all locations early on, or actually just experience the quest lines as well because they are amazing, don't kill him. Not exhausting all of the NPC's dialogue. This is a really common mistake and one I've made plenty of times. When speaking with an NPC, make sure you click on all of their dialogue options and re-speak to them a few times just to make sure they are repeating themselves. You'll see at the end of this clip he does repeat himself right at the very end, but I do have to speak to him several times to get to that point. This is an imperative for pretty much all of the quests. And on a side note, there isn't a way to track the quests, so you do need to pay attention if you aren't following any guides. If you are like me, go and follow a guide. This isn't cheating and it will help you navigate them, especially if this is your first playthrough. Some of the quests are long and complicated, and using a guide on YouTube is actually a huge win. You'll save yourself a lot of time and frustration. If you are a completionist, then go ahead and do it without the guides. However, you will struggle with your first playthrough because some of it is quite niche on the locations you need to go to and niche on some of the items you need to collect, and it doesn't really tell you that you need to go get some stuff and go back to certain locations. Understanding your equipment loads. There are 4 equip load statuses. There's a light load, a medium load, heavy load and overloaded. You can check your equip load on your stat screen. Fat rolling is when your equip load is set as heavy, and this essentially means you don't roll very far and you are a lot slower. There are different ways to counter this. One is to level your endurance. Another is through talismans if you want to run a heavier armor set and weapons. Another way is by using a different armor set or just being naked. If you want to go down the talisman route, there are 4 exceptional ones to get. The Great Jard's Talisman, which increases your equip load by 19%. The Arsenal Charm Talisman +1, which increases it by 17%. The Arsenal Charm Talisman increases it by 15%, and my personal favourite is the Erdtree's Favour 2, which increases it by 8%. Each one has their own uniquenesses. For example, the Great Jar grants the most at 19%, the Arsenal Charm gives you 17% and is the upgraded version of the Arsenal Charm, which is 15%. However, the 15% one is easier to get in the early game and can be acquired before fighting Godric. The Erdtree's Favour is my favourite, which grants 8%, but it does also give you a boost to your vigour and your stamina. The downside, it is the last legendary talisman in the game to get, and it does require you to kill Malekith, which is towards the end of the game. I do have a guide for this video which I'll link below. Check it out if this is the talisman for you. You can run the game with any equip load status you want. Normally I stick to a medium load build. Selling your items. This is a huge mistake I kept making throughout Elden Ring. I was trying to get some cheeky spare runes without knowing there was no buyback option. Like, there's nothing. Once you sell it, it's gone. This game is brutal if you are new and making these silly little mistakes. Try not to sell your items, as you can only get them back if you're on an NG Plus game. You may get lucky with other drops, sometimes there's some duplicated drops in the game, and there are ways of duplicating the boss drops if you find one of the mausoleums walking around. You may not want any of these items now, but if you decide to change your build halfway through the game, you may regret it. It might not be your first choice at the start, but trust me, there are weapons and armour out there that I wish I'd kept because builds I want to play, especially for my next one. That's not to say selling some junk isn't a bad thing. There are lots and lots of epic weapons and gear in this game, but there are some terrible items too. You can gain huge rune boosts throughout the world of Elden Ring by getting drops from mobs, for example. They just drop runes. You can click on them, it's like a little pouch, it opens up and you can get various amounts of runes. This is the option I would personally pick. On the screen here is just an example of me running through the shop and the sell items. You will notice there is no buyback option. I scroll through everything. I sell a few items just to prove the point that there is no way of recovering these items. The biggest mistake, in my opinion, and on the number 5th spot, is rushing the game. The game of Elden Ring is huge. It's full of amazing quests, lore, views, and insane boss fights, and some gnarly cutscenes. Don't be a fool and rush this game. You only get to experience the masterpiece once and once only. You can replay it as many times as you desire, but killing some of the main bosses and eventually becoming Elden Lord is a feeling you're only going to get once. This game ruined you for other games. The bosses are hard and cause many tears. Even the tree sentinel in Loamgrave gets a special mention. I have not included any of the boss fights or cutscenes here, as I didn't want to ruin your experience before the immersive world that you're about to step into. Hope you enjoyed just some of these little clips here. My personal favourite is Necron, which is one of the underground cities. It is just stunning. Right, I hope you all enjoyed the 5 beginner mistakes video. I speak from experience after doing all of the above mistakes. I have committed even more of the don'ts in my first playthrough, and if this video hits 50 likes, I'll go ahead and I'll create another top 5. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all again in the next one. Bye!